Hey guys, I'm Dawei, a DevOps engineer from WeCloud Data. This is a Git workshop. I'm very happy to be the host of this workshop. Let me share my screen. Okay, so I'm going to go through Git in the order of this table of content of this book. This book is called ProGit. It's written by Scott Chacon and Ben Straub. It's a very well written book. I highly recommend everybody to read it. It's free to read online and you can download the ebook here. I will send the link to the chat. Uh, one sec. So I'm going to skip the first two chapters about the version control and short history of Git because this is not a history lesson. Let's start from chapter 1.3. What is Git? So let's take a look at this diagram. Git is a version control tool. So let's say you have a folder in which there are three files, file A, file B, and file C. So version control means taking snapshots. So here at this point, you take a snapshot and call this version 1. And then later in this folder, uh, let's say you make some change to file A and file C, and then to store those changes, you create another version. You take another snapshot and call it version 2. And then later, you update something in file C, and then you create another version. Version 3 has updated file A and updated file C. And then it goes on and on. You have multiple versions. So in the future, you feel like, okay, I think I did something wrong. I like to go back to a previous version. You're free to restore version 4, version 3, version 2, version 1. It's like having a time machine, so you can go back to previous timestamp and take things out. It saves everything for you. Uh, so it's a very convenient tool. You can use it. Most of us use it when we are developing our application. I know some writers use Git as well to take snapshots of their notebooks. So that's what Git does, and that's what version control is. And there are three states or three areas or three concepts you have to know. So there's a working directory, and this has many names. We call it working directory, working tree, current workspace. So this is where you are working at. So let's say you have a folder, and then you create several files, and you make some changes and save it. Everything happens on the working directory. Everything in the working directory is not yet checked by Git. And then we have a staging area. This is area where you decide what will be snapshots. What will be taken snapshots. So let's say you have three files here. You update file A and file C. Maybe you update file B as well, but you only like to take a snapshot of the changes you made in file A and file C. So with the staging area, you are allowed to do that. So you can decide what changes you like to take snapshot of. And staging area has another name called index. So it's a jargon. We don't use it much. We simply call it staging area. And .git directory, we also call it a repository or repo or local repo. So this is the folder where you store, where all the snapshots are stored. So once a snapshot is taken, it's stored in the repo or .git directory. I will explain them further later. All right. Okay, next step, we'll talk about the command line. So command line is the way we interact with Git. The command line is always like Git does something. So it always starts with Git and then a verb and then some options or files. So Git something. That's the way the command line, the syntax of the command line. And then let's go through the installation, install Git. Depending on your operating system, there are different ways to install it. So if you're using a Mac like me, before you install Git, you can open your terminal and type git -- version. Let's try. If you have like a version number as your output, that means Git has been installed, so you don't have to install it again. If you don't have this as the output, let's simply go Google it, download Git. Okay, download Git. Click on this, and then no, that's the command to install Git on your laptop. If you have Homebrew installed, you can run this command. If you don't, just click on it, and there's a command for you to copy and paste on your terminal to install Homebrew. After Homebrew has been installed, install Git, use brew install Git. If you're a Windows user, here's a link, standalone installer. Depending on your operating system, you can choose 32-bit or 64-bit. I guess after it has been installed, you will see something called Git Bash. Git Bash has an icon like this, and once you open it, you will see a terminal like this. And with this, you are able to run all those Git commands. That's the interface. Once Git has been installed, remember to run this command git -- version to make sure it has been successfully installed. After Git has been installed, we have to do some configurations. So first time setup, you only have to do it once, and that's it. It's very simple. iTerm, that's the terminal I prefer. So here I'm I'm on my terminal. We have to set our username. Use the command git config -- global and username, and within the double quotation marks we write our username. Git config -- global user dot name, and my name. Here I'm using my GitHub username, and we can set our email address. Git config -- global user dot email, then my email address. So this configuration is set up globally, and it is used to specify who is the person made those changes. You only have to do it once because it's a global setting. And you can also set up your editor. This will be used when you're editing your Git commit messages. You don't have to do that, but if you like to use a different editor, feel free to do that. And then you can set the default branch name. Originally, the default branch name is called master, but we can change the default branch name to main by copying and pasting this command. Okay. To list all your settings, you can run this command git config -- list. Here you can see all the configurations like username, email, color, UI, all kinds of things. If you only want to take a look at the username, you can run git config user dot name. Okay, that's the first time Git setup. So far, so good. It's very easy. If you like to get help, here's the command: git help, or git help config, or git verb -- help, or man git. So those will give you a prompt or hint for you to read. Git help add. It gives you the name and the syntax and description. Or git add -- help gives you the same page. Man git add. You come back to this menu again. So that's the way you get help regarding to the git commands. Or you can always Google the command or ask ChatGPT. That's all the convenient way to get help. I'm going to skip the summary of the first chapter, and then let's get started about the Git basics. Getting a Git repository. So we're going to turn a empty folder into a Git repository. Instead of using the terminal, I'm going to open Visual Studio Code, which is my IDE. Currently, I'm on my desktop. I'm going to create a new empty folder called Git Workshop, and open it on the in the IDE called Git workshop. Okay. Here I'm using my IDE, and the workspace is Git workshop. This folder is empty. As you can see, there's nothing shown here on the left side. And I just opened my terminal. If you don't know how to open the terminal using the shortcut key, you can go to the menu on top and select terminal and new terminal. It gives you the new terminal, and you can use different shell by clicking on this arrow and select the shell you like to use. You can select bash shell or git bash. If you're using Windows and you have git bash installed, you should have git bash here in the drop-down menu. You can have multiple terminals open and delete some of them. Okay. So this is not a repository yet. This is not a Git repository because this is an empty folder. To turn this into a Git repository, we run a command git init and enter. Initialize the empty Git repository in this folder. So what happened? Me run ls-a. This lists all the files and folders on the current directory, and there you see there are three items, three folders. Dot means dot stands for the current directory. Double dot stands for the directory upper level, which is the desktop. And dot git is the repository. So all the snapshots will be stored in this .git folder. This is a hidden folder because you can see it from its name. It's the name of this folder starts with the dot. That means it's a hidden folder. That's why you don't see it here. So that's the way you initialize the repository in an existing directory. Git init. Run this command on the path you like to work on. All right. Another way to get a directory, get a repository is by using the command git clone. This allows you to download a Git repository from GitHub. So this command consists of three parts. So git, because there's a git command. Git command always starts with git. And clone is the verb. So you like to download something from online and then the URL of this source. So let's give it a try. Let's search for GitHub. I mean, if you have a GitHub account, of course, it will redirect you to your home page. If you don't, please register one. And I'm going to go to the Explore section. Here you will see a bunch of popular GitHub repositories like LangChain.js. If I like to download all the code or the scripts from this repository to my laptop, simply I click on this green button, and there's three options: HTTPS, SSH, GitHub CLI. HTTPS gives you the URL of this repo. Just copy that, and then go back to your terminal or IDE, whatever, and then navigate to the directory where you like to store this this GitHub repository. All right, and then run git clone and the source of this, the URL of this GitHub repository, and enter. Then everything from here has been downloaded to your laptop. All right, ls, as you can see, I have a new folder called LangChain.js, which is exactly the same with the repository name here. And cd LangChain.js. Actually, I'm going to open it on a new window in VS Code. The command is LangChain, code and the name of this directory, and enter. So a new window has popped up, and as you can see, this list is exactly the same with what are shown here. Okay, that's how you clone other people's repository to your laptop. All right. Let me remove that directory. Remove. Okay, that folder has been removed. All right, next step, recording change to the repository. So in this step, we're going to create some files in the Git repository we just created. We're going to create some files here and then take some snapshots of them. All right. Let me find a better picture, better diagram to show you what happens. Git and images and this looks good. So currently we're at this working directory. All right, this is our working directory. And I'm going to create 3 files. File A.text, file B.text, file C.text. Okay, 3 empty text files have been created. And we run the command git status. Git status shows you the status of the current workspace. So we're on a branch main. No commits yet. There's no version or snapshots stored in the repository. And we have 3 untracked files. And those are the file names: file A, file B, file C. So they're untracked. Let's run git add. We can either enter add one file to the staging area, or add 2 files, file B.text. That also works. If I like to add everything on the current directory to the staging area, we can just simply run git add dot stands for the current directory. So everything in the current directory will be added to the staging area. So once we run this command, those things will be stored in a staging area, but at the same time, they still exist in a working directory. They're like copied to the staging area. So let me hit enter. Then let's run the command git status again. Git status. Now you see the names of those files turn green. Still no commits yet. Change to be committed. So those are changed to be committed, but instead of untracked files. That means they're in the staging area. And we have new file, file A, new file, file B, new file, file C. Okay. Then we like to we've made our decision. We like to take a snapshot of them. We are going to create a version of them and store them in the Git repository. So we run the command git commit. All right, git commit, git commit, and then we have an option -m. M stands for the message because we like to make a note here. So that later when we look back, we know what's going on here. First commit and enter. Okay. Now let's run the command git status again. We're on the main branch, nothing to commit, working tree clean. So that means the files I just stored in the repository matches with the files on my current working directory. All right. So the first snapshot has been taken. So how do we know? We run command git log. Here's the history, the log, the commit history. So we have one commit, and here's the hash string of that commit. This is the author and my email address, because previously we ran the command git config to set those things up. So git know it was me who made the commit, and this is the date, and this is the commit message. And here we have two pointers. So head is a special pointer. It shows us which branch we're currently at. So head points to main. That means we're on the main branch. And main is the branch name. This is also a pointer. This pointer points at this commit. That means currently we're at the main branch and we're looking at this snapshot. Right, that's how it goes. And there's some handy options we can add to this command git log -one line. Then instead of showing all those information like the author, the date, it gives you like a short version, like summary. So this is the hash value of this commit. This is the pointer, tells you which branch you're at, and tells you the branch name, and then the commit message of this snapshot. This is a message. This is the snapshot hash. And git log -one line -graph gives you a graph. Currently, there's only one commit, so you only see a dot here. But later, when we have more commits, we'll see a very long graph. All right, I just talked about git add, git commit, and I talked about the files went from the working directory to the staging area and from the staging area to the repository. Let's go back to this book. Checking status of your file, we use the command git status. Checking files, we run git add. Staging modified files, we use git add, of course. And short status, ignore files. Okay, ignoring files. So there's a way for us to let Git ignore some of the files we don't want it to track. So here we create a special file, special hidden file dot git ignore. So everything you listed here will be ignored. For example, let me create another file called abc dot ipynb. That's the Jupyter Notebook extension. So this is the Jupyter Notebook file, but I don't want Git to track this file. Here you see there's a U here that stands for untracked, and Git status. You see that Git realized there are two untracked files, .git ignore and abc.ipynb. So let me add something here in the .git ignore file. So *ipynb and save. All right, you see this file name turns gray. And when I run git status, that file is no longer tracked by Git. Git ignored it totally. It's untracked, it's ignored. So you won't see it again in the Git status. And we can let Git ignore to ignore itself. Git ignore. Let's run git status again. Both files are ignored. That's ignoring files. Showing you staged and unstaged change. We talked about that. We talked about commit. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for this chapter. Then fill in the commit history. We use git log. I just showed you how it was done. So you run the command git log to see all the snapshots of the current branch. You can use some options called -p to see a different output. I really use that option, so I do not really know what was going on. Anyway, if you like to try out different options, feel free to read this book. Also, here on the menu on the left, you'll see a reference. Just click on that. You'll see a bunch of commands and their manual. Init, clone, add, status, diff, commit, note, restore, reset, remove, move, branch, checkout. Log. Okay, it gives you description, synopsis, and a bunch of examples and options you can use. So feel free to read them. All right. Commit history, we talked about that. Undoing things. All right, this is the key of Git. It allows you to undoing things. So can use git commit amend to change the commit message. So let me do a quick example here. Okay, I'm going to add something in file A. This is a very nice day. You are awesome. Okay, so the file A has been modified. And you run git status. The file A has been modified and it's not staged yet. It's not in the index or the staging area yet. So it's red. We run git add in the file a.text git status. Now it's in the staging area and it's not committed yet. Then we run git commit -m second commit and enter and git log one line graph. We have two snapshots. This is the first commit. This is my second commit. And suddenly I don't want to call this second commit. I like to change this commit message. So I run git commit - amend. And it opens an editor that allows you to edit the content of this commit message. I like to call it draw update file a.text and save and quit. And then let me run the log again. Now the commit message has been changed. And then I feel like I like to add more things on file B and save and git add file b.text and git commit - amend. Then we can change the commit message, update file A and file B.text. Two files changed. And let me run this log again. See, the file message has been changed. And in the second snapshot, we have updated file A and file B. So that's how you undo a commit using the option amend. Unstaging staged file. Okay. This time, git status. As you can see, nothing to commit. My working directory matches with the Git repository. So I like to change the file C. Okay. And git add file c.text and git status. Now the file C is in the staging area. What if we like to remove it from the staging area without changing the content of the file C in the working directory? We use the command git restore -- staged and then the file path. Then file c.text, enter, and git status. Now it says change not staged for commit. All right, it's no longer in the staging area. but the file content is still here in our working directory for VLC. That's how you unstaging a staged file. Use command git restore staged. I know you must be feeling that there are so many commands we have to use and remember. Don't worry, you don't have to memory them. You just have to use them and know when to use them. You can always look up those commands here in the Git reference in the official Git webpage, or ask ChatGPT. So don't memory it, just use it. Modifying a modified file. So we have made some change to file C. We like to restore it back to its previous state. Like we like to remove it to not remove it, to undo the modification we did to this file. We use the command git restore file c.txt. Then it's gone. It roll back to the previous commit, which was empty. All right. So git restore allows you to remove a file from the working area and remove the change of a file from the working directory and removing the change in the staging area. Is there a command that allows us to remove a commit from the Git repository? Yes, there is, which is git reset. But this command is a bit dangerous because it messes up your command history. I will talk about it later. Working with remotes. So far, everything I've done here happened on my laptop. Everything is local. All right. In this chapter, we're going to work with remotes. Show in your remotes. After you clone a repository from GitHub, you can show the URL of this repository, the remote repository, by running this command git remote feed. Remember at the beginning of this session, I cloned the LangChain repository to my laptop. Let me bring it back from my trash. All right, instead of bringing it back, I might not be able to bring it back. I'm just going to clone it again to my desktop. The command to clone a repo is git clone and then the URL. By the way, if you like to clone a branch of this repository instead of the main branch, I don't know which branch to choose. I'm just going to choose this branch. This is the branch name. git clone -b and brace /mistral, and then the URL of this repo. cd langchain.js and git status. I'm currently on this branch on my laptop, and this branch is up to date with this remote branch called origin / and then the branch name. And git remote -v shows you the URL of this remote repo. So the remote repository on GitHub is the upstream of my local repository. I no longer need this page. Showing your remotes. The default name for the remote repository is origin. All right, but you can change that if you like, but I do not suggest that. Adding remote repositories. Let me go back to this repository. Git remote nothing. Git remote -v nothing. Why? Because this is a local repository. It is not connected to any remote repository on the cloud or on GitHub. So there's nothing. But I can set up this connection by using the command git remote add then the short name and then the URL of a remote repository. Usually we use origin instead of PB. PB is a custom name. So this is the example used in this book. And fetching and pulling from your remotes. When there's an update on this remote repository, we can fetch this update to our local repository by running git fetch. And git fetch fetches the content to our repo, but it does not affect our working directory. So things on your local directory does not change, but there is a record in your Git repo storing the update from the remote. But if you run git pull, it will replace or override everything you have in your working directory. So git pull changes both your working directory and the repository. All right, there's two areas. When you run git push, you push the change from your repo. You push your commits from your local repository to the remote repository. When you run git pull, you let the change or commits from the remote repository to override the commits on your local repository and your working area. That's it for chapter 2.5. And tagging, alias, summary. Let me see, we only have 5 minutes left. Let me go through taggings. So tag is a special pointer you create, pointing to a commit. It's very much like the branch name. So this is a pointer. The head is a special pointer. Main is the branch name. This is also a pointer. And tag is also a pointer. It will point to a specific commit. So you can create tags for your commit. Just run git tag and then the tag name. This L allows you to list all the tags matches with this pattern. So if you run git tag, it shows all the tags, and give tag -L and then the pattern name, it lists all the tags which matches with this pattern. And creating tags, git tag, and then a tag name and the message. And then you can show the commit information the tag is pointing at by running git show the tag name. You can create a tag, you can delete a tag, and push this tag to a remote GitHub repository by running git push origin and then the tag name. Deleting tags, git tag -D. -D stands for delete, and then the tag name to delete the tag. That's it. That's how tag works. Alias allows you to create an alias for a command. So this is the syntax. So git config --global alias dot. This part is the alias you create. That's the alias name. And checkout, that's the git command. So once you execute this command, when you run co, git will run checkout. That's how alias work. That's like creating shortcuts for commands. All right, I think that's it. We don't have much time left. Adam, I'm done.
Okay, thank you, David. Thank you for everyone to join these sections, and we hope this session is helpful. So we will constantly have more events for the upcoming weekend and also in the evening. Feel free to join us. If you have any unclear questions or something you still need to get practice on, you can watch the recording on YouTube or join the Discord channel to ask questions. So we will find someone to answer the questions. And yeah, that's all. Thank you everyone for joining. So we're gonna stay here for a few more minutes, just in case if you have any questions. And for the rest of them, I wish you have a good rest of the day. Thank you, David. Bye.
Thank you.